What's up, team? Welcome back. Today we are fixing posture, in particular the rounding of the upper back.
So with that being said, should we do it, JC?
Let's do it. Okay, B, strike the pose.
Aggressive Kyphosis, go!
I like it, mate. That's an aggressive form of it. But basically, this is what we call kyphosis, or the rounding of the upper body. We tend to not be very mobile in the upper back, or we struggle to get extension in the thoracic area of the spine. We tend to be quite tight on the front here and rounded over, and we're often lengthened and not very strong in the upper back muscles. So what we're going to do, we're going to shoot some mobility drills and some awesome exercises to fix this. B, you're going to be my guinea pig?
I'm going to be the guinea pig, baby.
Okay, so the first point of call is going to be the front of the body, these tight restricted muscles, namely the front of the shoulders and the chest. Leon is the perfect dummy for this because he's your typical lad that just wants to do bench press and bicep curl all the time. So he is actually quite tight in the interior, like previously trying to do overhead squats for you has been an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to look at is the front of the shoulders. This is a nice and easy stretch. So you know where you're going, mate. Just take onto your elbows.
You're going to Painesville, that's right.
Link your hands together. This is like the bottom of a bench dip, basically. From there, you're going to lift your bum in the air and shoot it away. You're going to start feeling tension now in the front of the shoulders. It's really important to release these off. How's that feeling?
Painful.
So what I want you to do when you're in this stretch is just breathe through it. Take your time, and as you start to relax, you'll be able to go deeper into it. The biggest thing I find when I foam roll and I stretch is without really thinking, I'm subconsciously resisting it. If you can just breathe and relax often, especially on the exhale, you'll feel that you can get deeper into a stretch. But don't force it, just take it nice and easy. You got that one?
Yeah, nice.
Okay, next one. This is probably my favorite exercise for strengthening and forcing the body into extension, especially that thoracic spine. So if we're curled over a lot, let me just show where the thoracic spine is for people struggling. So we've got our cervical spine here, our thoracic spine is roughly this bit here, kind of behind your sternum and your chest. So we're trying to force that into extension, which is nice and upright. This is flexion, this is extension. So Leon, if you can do it front ways, I'm going to do it sideways.
Okay.
So you face the camera and do it. So you can come down to a low squat, you're going to put your elbows in between. I understand a lot of people won't even be able to get in this position, so just get in where you can. The most important thing is, and this is where it starts to get tough, we're opening the hips a little bit here, but when we do this and now we force up and we push our chest up, for me even now, it's super tight in that thoracic spine, those lower traps. You feel it almost cramping. Go up, go up, go up, go up. And you should feel it right in there. So that's a really good one to kind of strengthen and open up that thoracic spine. Okay, so this next one is Leon's favorite for his thoracic spine. It's really good for front squats, this kind of stuff as well. It keeps you nice and upright, and we're going to build that strength with some of our exercises a little later. So, foam roller under the shoulder blades, roughly on your thoracic spine, and you're going to very gently, take your time with this, lean yourself back onto the foam roller. You'll probably feel quite a bit of tension in there. If you roll on the foam roller normally for your spine, you might find sometimes you get a little bit of pops and things like that. Try and stay away from your lower back. And also, when you foam roll, don't go over joints and stuff like that. It's not normally the best idea. Next progression on this is to take the arms behind the head a little bit. Again, take this very easy. If you've got tight shoulders and lats as well, you might find this here too. All those kind of generic, what we say, lad muscles. I know that's a big stereotype, but if you're always bench pressing, bicep curl and pull-ups, all these muscles kind of promote internal rotation to a certain extent.
So exactly that with the arms. Remember, externally rotate them, pull the shoulders down and back. Even though you haven't got resistance there, it's important for you to feel that position yourself.
You can also do this with a resistance band against a rig and have that in your hand with a bit of tension. You could almost put like a very empty light barbell in there to start with as well. But remember, take this one slowly. If I put myself in that position, chances are my hands will probably reach the floor.
That is all the mobility. Look, heads on the floor. All the mobs.
Leon, we're not doing tricep extensions as much as Leon wants to. As much as he wants to work the guns, we're actually doing face pulls. This is one of my favourite exercises. Amazing for stability of the shoulder girdle. Basically pinning the shoulder blades back and down. Prehab, rehab, posture, all that good stuff. Right, so normally you would do this on a cable. We're using a resistance band. It's the only one we have, and it is in fact a little bit too heavy. You want to be using a nice light one for this. We're not trying to go for like 4 or 5 reps. We're probably looking 15 reps upwards, and we're looking for a nice pinch and hold at the top. The reason we want that hold is because we're holding in that position all day. We're not doing it for reps. Do you know what I mean? We want to up there, hold, so we build strength in that end of range, if you class that as your end of range. Right, okay, so face pulls. Elbows come back, hands towards the face. Ideally with a pulley, you'll be able to get a little bit more up with the elbows. And what we're going to do as well is we're going to turn our thumbs. That's going to aid external rotation as well. So if you remember I said before, internal rotation, we tend to have a little bit too much of, especially if we do a lot of bench press or work at desks. External rotation twists our arms this way and helps us stand nice and upright. So I'll be working 15 reps upwards, looking for a good 1 second, at least pinch at the top, release nice and controlled, allow the shoulder blades to move round. As you come back, pin and lock them in position. Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna look at the scapula. When you hear us say scapula, it simply means shoulder blades. In a lot of exercises, things like Ys, front raises, pull-ups, the kind of scapula, if you turn to the side, they kind of wing away, like Iron Man's kind of thrusters in the earlier films. They come away from the rib cage. We want to be able to keep them nice and pinned back to the rib cage to support our good movement and our posture. So one thing we can do is scapular attractions. This is, for me, the precursor to a good pull-up. You need to be able to have control of your scapulas before you do pull-ups. So basically, Leon, just hang, dead hang. So he's hanging, he's let everything go loose. That's not really where we want to be. So if you engage this scapula, bink, they come down to here. Okay, so do a few reps for me. He's letting himself drop through, and then he's picking control up with the scapula. If you note, the important thing here is the elbows are not bending. If you are doing pull-ups from a dead hang position like this, biceps will be doing a lot of the work, and there's not going to be much activation happening through here. We want everything nice and tight before we start. So again, with this, I would set yourself, try and do 10. 3 sets of 10 to start with, and that'll be hard for a lot of us. Again, doing a hold at the top, always under control, because what we don't want to be doing is when we're doing pull-ups, especially as we fatigue, if we come down really fast and we let ourselves hang, because we've let go of what we call our tension in those scaps, we're then just hanging off ligaments and joints, which we don't really want to be doing. We want to be using the muscles that are involved in that exercise. Okay, let's look at the rear delts, the back of the shoulders. If you neglect a lot of back exercises or you do them incorrectly, these muscles can be quite underdeveloped and they can also be quite weak. So what we're going to do is basically, we call these kind of Spider-Man walks. I don't really know why we call them that. I guess by the nature of the exercise and because we like comics. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to have our arms locked. That's very important. We're then going to pull our shoulder blades back and we're going to force ourselves against the band, pulling it apart. We're going to walk up and down through our range of motion. This was a rehab exercise I actually do when I snapped all my ligaments in my collarbone, basically. And it's a wicked prehab. It's wicked for strengthening up the delts and just getting control over those posterior muscles of the shoulder. So you can see what Leon's doing there. That one I would time. I would go 30 seconds, and this is what I would actually do. I would set this as a superset. I'd get a partner, have 2 bands. This is just a glute band. This one's a heavy one, and I would put my hands inside here. For 30 seconds, I'd either take one of these or a resistance band, but just at a position where there's tension at this far apart, and I would do pull-aparts. Pulling my shoulder blades back. I would do 30 seconds of reps into that, and I'd go straight into wall walks. So one person's doing the pull-aparts, one person's doing the wall walks. That's what I would do it, and I'll do 3 rounds of that.
So there we have it, guys. Yes, I do have a voice. I've been pretty mute today. It's been wonderful.
Bliss.
It's been wonderful for your ears. That is a fraction of some incredible exercises to help posture, performance, and overall help injury prevention. And one thing that's super important to mention, I know we're talking about kyphosis and just general poor posture. Those exercises will help in anyone's training plan. So even if it's something that's not a main focus for you right now, don't let it become one before you start fixing it. You've got the reps, you've got the time you should be spending on those, and if you want us to actually start tackling the lower part of the back, or you've got a slightly tilted pelvis, let us know in the comment section below, and I will come back and I'll keep my mouth shut again.
So on that note, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button and a little bell so you can stay up to date with our new videos. Give us a like, comment any questions you have below, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you later.
Bye guys.